Hey guys, so this is going to be a quick one. I just want to show you guys what I've seen while I was working with this LinkTree application that I'm building. So basically what I've done is I have this data source basically here. We're just going to pull through my data from the back end once I've done with that, but it's going to pull them through as JSON, as you can see over here. And then I have like the social, which is like your social links, and each social has its own color, right? Because I wanted to use like the official social color when you hover over the button in order to click it, like if you hover over here. But what I noticed is I wanted to add this effect on hover, but I just wanted to see how it looks first if I just made like the default background color with Tailwind CSS. And with Facebook it works. It does pick up the blue from this file, as you can see. It works with X, which is like Twitter, PG Gray 200. But the weird thing is it doesn't work with Slack. So Slack I used Ember 400 is more or less like this color we have over here, but it's not picking that up. And that is simply because if I go to this component that I've created, you would see that this component does have a background color of slate 600. But the weird thing is, why did the Facebook blue and the Twitter like light gray override the background color, but the amber one didn't? So this is a kind of gotcha thing if you don't really understand how CSS works and how Tailwind stacks basically the classes. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my inspect editor tool over here. I'm going to go inspect, and I'm going to inspect the CTA right here at the bottom. And as you would see in the CTA, I do have that background slate 600, and I also have that background amber 400. So you guys are probably wondering, saying, hey man, you are babbling on about hovers and adding styles. We don't even know what's happening in this application. So rewind. I have this page, which is basically this entire page over here, and I'm using this component I've created called social links, and then I'm passing through the key, the icon, the style that it needs to be, and also the link to the social link. Okay, so that social link is this component over here, which is an A tag that takes in the ref, which is that link I've passed through the key because I'm mapping over this and I don't want it to give me like that key error. And then also the style, it's like any additional styles that I want to apply to this link. For example, now this blue color for Facebook, this light gray color for Twitter, and obviously that amber color for Slack, which is not picking up. So if we go ahead and inspect element this and look at this, firstly let's look at Twitter or Facebook. So Facebook is exact the same thing. We have the background color slate 600, and then we have the background color blue 500. So it's not like it's changed in the place where it's being called. It's exactly the same place, but then the blue overrides the 600 slate. The same thing if you look onto the Twitter button over here. I actually did just click it now. It's gonna try to take me to Twitter. I'm gonna just go back. I don't want to go to Twitter. Let's go ahead and check this one out. So the same thing with this PG Slate 600 and PG Gray 200. Okay, so if you want to understand what kind of is happening with this, we can go ahead and just look at the CSS file for Tailwind. For example, if I go now to this PG Slate 600, which is overwritten by this PG Slate 200. So if you click on that and just look at the tree, how it is, so you will see that the background gray, which is this one over here, is at the bottom of the PG. Basically, looking for this background color here. So let's just look at this number, is 668. So if we go back to this element, go there, back to that element, let's look at the background color for slate 600. So if I go over there, then slate 600 is like 660. So slate 600 is on top, and then the slate gray, basically gray 200, which is bottom. So CSS reads from the top to the bottom, and it will just override whatever's at the bottom with what's at the top, or whatever it's at the top with what's at the bottom. So what's happening here is saying, okay, I see this background slate. I see this background slate 600 right at the top, and it reads down, reads down, reads down, and it comes to 600 and over here. So basically, here's another background color, which is like gray 200. Let's use this one instead of this one. You get it? So that it overrides it. But with this button over here, with this Slack button, which is a bit different. So if you go to the select button, you'll see that it uses the slate 600 and not the Amber 400. So if you go to Amber 400, you'll see that Amber 400 is 657, but slate 600 is below it. So slate 600 is below that Amber 400, and that's why it sees this background color, but it doesn't use it because it reads this one last. So in order to fix this, I actually came across this great plugin called Tailwind Merge, which is what we're going to use. And basically what this plugin is going to do is it's going to say, wait. Even though you already declared a background color, but the user is specifically asking for a new background color. So totally remove that background color and only use the one specified by the user. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go to, you can basically just Google it. It's called Tailwind Merge. Okay. So Tailwind Merge, we're just going to install that. I'm going to go ahead and install that quickly. I'm going to cancel all of this. npm install Tailwind dash merge. That's if I can spell. Just want to make sure I am spelling this correctly. npm install Tailwind merge. Tailwind merge. I'm going to hit enter. So while that's running, we're just going to look at this. So basically what it's saying, what we need to do is we're going to have to first import this WTW merge from Tailwind merge. And once we've imported that, we're going to use this function basically to wrap all our classes in it, and then pass through the second parameter the class that we wanted to override. So basically we're going to use like our default classes in the first parameter to say this is default classes for all the A tags, and then also including the background color, right? And then for the overrides for the colors, like for our, in our case for the styles, we're just going to use that at the second parameter. Okay, so that's done installing. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and run this application again, and we're going to go ahead and use that function provided to us by Tailwind merge. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and import that. So I'm going to say import W merge, there we go, from Tailwind merge, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap all of this in that function. So this is going to be Tailwind merge, open bracket, and then the first part is going to be this, which is all of my CSS still over here, and then I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And then my second parameter for this function is just going to be the styles one, correct? So let me go ahead and do that. Click save. So once I've saved, then I go ahead and refresh this page. Let's see if that works. So what should happen now, this should actually automatically pick up to be the Amber 600 color. But as you guys can see, now it's picking up. So clearly Tailwind merge is overriding the styles the way I wanted it to get override. So that's a quick one. I hope it is for you guys to quickly understand how you can go ahead and just do an override of your CSS files, not your CSS, but your CSS classes with Tailwind using this Tailwind merge plugin basically. So if you guys really like this one, and if you want to see the full tutorial where I go ahead and build out this LinkTree application, I'm going to put a card somewhere over here. Just make sure you come back, click on that card, and watch the full video where I'll show you guys how we create this application. Until next time guys, stay safe.